Hi everybody, how y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing good. So today I'm going to be showing you how to draft a basic bodice. We're going to be needing a ruler, of course your paper. I'm using a pen, but you need a pencil, a curve, a paper, scissors, and of course your measuring tape. Here I have my own measurements, which I already input here on the paper. So it's the shoulder, your chest line, the bust point, your under bust, and your front waist line, the half length. And for the back here is the same thing, your shoulder, your chest line, and then the back half length, because the front and the back are not the same. So I already went ahead to draw this line where I'm going to be putting my shoulder, and my shoulder is going to be half of my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 16, so half of it is going to be 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So you're going to measure your shoulder and then you're going to divide it by 2. So mine is 8 here, and then I'm going to mark it here. And I'm going to put that same 8 measurement here on my chest line, because I'm going to be drafting my armhole. Yeah. So on this shoulder line, I'm going to put my neck width and my neck depth, which is 3 inches by 3 inches. So it's 3 inches here by 3 inches. It's standard, but of course, it's not like you can't change it, because if you want to do like a V-neck, depending on how low you want it, could be 3 inches by 7 or 4 by 8. It depends on you, the style you're going for. So I'm going to use my curve, and I'm going to curve it here. So this is my front neck. Now, because I already have my shoulder put in here, I'm going to draw a straight line connecting the shoulder to the chest line here. And note that our shoulder, remember, our shoulder is not straight. So it's slanted, and I'm going to go down by 1 inch here and then connect it to the 3-inch point, which is my neck depth here. Now I'm going to measure what I have here left, which of course is 8 inches. I have 8 inches here. Now 8 divided by 2 is 4, and I'm going to get the midpoint, which is 4, and I'm going to come in here by 3/4 of an inch. That's to get the front armhole. Then on my chest line, I'm going to be putting my bust measurement. My bust measurement is, my bust divided by 4, for mine it's 9.5, sorry, 9.5. So you're going to measure your bust measurement, divide it by 4, and you're going to put what you have here on your chest line. Using my armhole curve, I'm going to place it this way, making sure it starts from this neck slant to this point, 3/4 inches, and then to where you marked your bust measurement here. So this is the front, this is for the front. Now, going downwards, I'm going to come, this is my waistline. Of course, to put the waist at, I'm going to get my bust pan, which is 8, and I'm going to divide it into 2.5, 4. Please take your measurements to get your, it's just one nipple to the other nipple. You measure it, just might be 7.5 depending on your bust size, and always wear a firm bra when you're taking your measurement. So for me, mine is 4 inches. So I'm going to mark 4 inches here, 4 inches here on the waist, on the chest line, on the under bust, and I'm going to connect it with a straight line using my ruler. Now on my waistline, I'm going to go in 1/2 inch on both sides to get my dart. So it's 1/2 inch on the left and right. And I'm going to connect it to my bust point. But before I connect to my bust, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, because I don't want it sharp on my bust point. Sometimes when you sew, there's always this pointy effect you have. I don't like it. So I always come down by 1 inch. And I'm going to connect it to that 1 inch. You can connect it all the way here, but for me, I like to always come down by 1 inch. Now, I'm going to be putting my horizontal measurement. So for my waist divided by 4 is 8.25. So I'm going to do that here on my waistline. You divide your waist by 4, and whatever you have, you put it on your waistline. Now, remember that I already took out 1 inch for the dart. I have to add it back, or I'm going to be losing inches on my measurement. So I'm going to add back that 1 inch. I'm not putting any seam allowance. I'm going to put that when I'm going to be using it on my fabric. This is just like a basic bodice. So I'm going to connect my bust measurement to my waist measurement here. And guys, this is the front. We're done with the front pattern. Now we're going to move to the back. Now for the back, it's the same thing. This is the shoulder. This is the shoulder line. I already went ahead and I already went ahead here by 1 inch to get my zipper allowance, and of course my chest line and my back half length. If you notice, my back half length and my front back half length, like I mentioned earlier on, they're not on the same line. When you take your measurement, most people will say, oh, standard is 2 inches. Always take your measurement. Mine, I don't do 15 inches, I do 16 inches because I have a long torso. So you have to always take your measurement. So the same thing we did here on the shoulder, 3 inches, I'm going to go down by 1. You can do half, but I always go down by 1. So I have my 3 inches here and my 1 inch here. And then, of course, do not forget your shoulder measurement. Mine is 8. I'm going to put that same measurement on my chest line. I'm going to connect it to the straight line like this. Come down by 1 inch and get my shoulder slant, connecting it to the 3 inches of my neck width. And then using my curve, I'm going to draft my back neck. Yeah, so this is it. You see, it's coming along. And the same thing we did on the front. You get the midpoint here, which is 4. I go in by ½ inch for the back. ½ inch. Do not forget also to put your bust measurement here. Mine is 9.5 on the chest line. And then I connect it this way using my curve ruler. Yeah, so we have our back armhole done. Now for the waist here, I'm going to put my measurement for my waist, which is 8.25 here. Remember, in the front we took out the dart. We're going to do the same thing at the back. So from this line before the zipper, I'm going to come in the same thing with my bust pan, which is 8 divided by 2/4. I'll mark it here on the waist and on the chest line, and I'm going to draw a straight line connecting both points. And I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch on both sides, and then I'm going to connect. For the front, I came down by 1 inch. For the back, you're going to connect it all the way up to the chest line. So remember, we took out 1 inch. We have to add back that 1 inch here. Now for the back zipper, because I don't like the bulge at the back, this is what I do. I come in from this line 1 inch here, I mark it 1 inch here, and I connect it all the way up. And from this new line, I now measure out my 1 inch for my zipper. So I have 1 inch here. This is what I do, and I never have the bolt. It sits perfectly on my back and on my client's back, eliminating the bulge you have at the back. I hope you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm going to draw a straight line. Yeah. So this is now my new zipper allowance. I'm not going to be needing this. I'm going to cut this out. So this is now my zipper. So guys, we're done. This is how to draft a simple basic bodice. Yeah, I'm going to be showing you how to align both the front and the back. And this is what I do. Because the difference from the back and the front is 1 inch for me. I'm going to come here to the bust line. I'm going to come down here, the bust line here, and I'm going to mark 1 inch down because that's the difference. And then I'm going to draw a straight line to my bust point. So I'm going to be cutting this out so that when I transfer the darts, it's going to match. Now, remember I took out 1 inch inwards for the zipper. I have to put back that 1 inch to the measurement. If not, I'm going to lose my measurement, because from here, if I measure it out, I have 8.25 here. Of course, I have to put my dart. 8.25, I have to put my darts, 1 inch, and then the zipper, I took in another 1 inch. So now I'm going to measure it. So I was like adding 2 more inches, good, and I have 2.5 here, so that I don't lose inches to my waist. And I'm going to connect it to my bust line. It doesn't matter if it looks this way, because by the time you take in the darts and your zipper, your measurement will be fine. So do not worry. I didn't add any seam allowance or anything. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead now and cut it out, and I'm going to show you. So we have the front and then we have the back. If you notice, they do not align here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer the dart from the side dart to the waist dart. So I'm going to cut it in here. If I close it, you see, there's the tension here. So I'm going to cut the bust dart, not all the way, so that, you see? And then I transfer it to the, and I'm going to use my tape to tape it down. Yeah, of course, if you notice, there's like a little bit of, if you notice here, I'm going to add back, it doesn't align, so I'm going to through the line so that everything aligns. I'm going to through the line here. I'm going to tape it down, and I'm going to cut out the excess. And then when you put it together here, you see that they align. They're on the same line. So this is how when you're done drafting your pattern for the front and the back, all you got to do is to close the side dart, transfer it to the middle, and of course everything aligns. And when you make your dress or your top using your basic pattern, everything is going to align. You're not going to lose any length or anything. So I hope you learned something from this tutorial. If there's any questions you want to ask me down below, and of course I would answer and get back to you. Like I always say, what God cannot do does not exist. See you guys in my next video. Bye.